Hi everyone. How are you doing today? If you're not familiar with my quick guides, in these videos, I try to go over all the basic stuff you need to know in order to understand and start playing Pokemon in around 10 minutes. And in today's quick guide we'll talk about one of the strongest Pokemons in the game, Lapras. Lapras at this moment is among the best Pokemons you can play. With a combination of above average damage, extremely high defense and good health recovery, it's not hard to see how Lapras can single-handedly take over a game. And with the unique Unite move, you can quickly move around the map with a teammate, giving your team insane mobility. This Pokemon only has two weaknesses. One of them is the mobility when your Unite move is on cooldown. Although it's not that easy, it's possible to run away from you. The other one is the early game. Lapras doesn't have a good move to secure farm early. Your strongest move deals small amounts of damage over time. So the best way to play around this, is trying to combine your moves so you have a better chance at last hitting. But don't forget that even this early, this Pokemon can win a fight against almost anyone that gets too close, so although getting the last hit may not be that easy, Lapras is still a really strong close-range early game Pokemon. And for that reason, you can get a lot out of this Pokemon by playing him on the bottom lane, making use of his strong early moves to put pressure on your enemies, while having a better chance to get your next move faster, due to the larger amount of experience available there. After that, you'll easily be able to carry your games. If you're looking to play a more defensive-oriented build, you can also go for the top path though. So with that said, let's head to the practice area to take a look at what this Pokemon can do inside your matches. Starting with your passive ability. If you get hit by more than 10% of your maximum health at once, that damage will be reduced by 25%. This ability has no cooldown. So, this is one of the reasons why Lapras is so tanky. It's really common to get by that amount of health over the match, reducing a lot of damage you'll take throughout the match. This ability doesn't work that well against moves that deal multiple small hits though. Next, for your boosted attack. It hits 3 times, healing you by 3% of your maximum health for each of them you hit. For a total of 9% of your maximum health for each boosted attack. This is the second reason why Lapras is so tanky, but this one only works if there's some Pokemon around you for you to attack. So if your enemies are keeping their distance, you'll get no healing, so be careful when chasing your opponents. For your first move, you get to pick either Whirlpool or Ice Shard. You'll get the other one at level 3. I recommend starting out with Whirlpool. This move creates guess what? A whirlpool around you. It deals damage over time and the time between hits is shorter if your target is near the edge of the whirlpool. So you should aim to fight your enemies at your maximum range, so you can get this move's maximum damage as well as your boosted basic attacks to help keep you alive. Whirlpool's damage is not that amazing by itself, but when combined with your basic attacks it becomes a threat to most Pokemons. Then at level 3 you'll get your next move. In this case, Ice Shard. It shoots 5 balls of ice that deals damage and freezes your targets for a short time. If one of the balls hits an enemy that is already frozen, you'll also push them away. The damage here is rather low as well, so Lapras doesn't have a reliable move to last hit. Your best chance here is to combine the small ticks of damage from Whirlpool with Ice Shard. This move works really well to incapacitate your opponents in early fights though. Then, when you reach level 5, you'll get to pick your next move, which will be either Water Pulse or Perish Song. It's from these two moves that most of your damage will come from. Let's first talk about Water Pulse. It launches a wave around you, dealing damage and reducing your enemy's movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. And after you use this move, for each enemy you hit, you'll get an additional wave that deals half the first one's damage. This stack up to 2 additional waves. You'll lose this buff after 8 seconds without hitting this move. If you hit the first wave, you'll get a boosted attack. After this move upgrade, you'll stack 1 more additional wave per use, so you'll have 4 waves in total. This is your most damaging move after you get all the stacks. It takes some time to get this move going. But once you manage to hit it sometimes, you'll start to really become scary for the other team. And if you hit multiple enemies at once with the first wave, you'll instantly be fully stacked with your next Water Pulse already at full power. And don't forget to use your boosted attacks before and after you use this move. This is what will keep you alive during your fights. It's very important to not waste any of your boosted attacks. Your other option here is Perish Song. It also deals damage around you. But you can use this move 3 consecutive times within 5 seconds, and if you land all 3, you deal an additional hit that will instantly knock out enemies with their health under 10% afterwards. You will be able to see a mark in their health bar that indicates where the 10% is. There are also floating notes that light up, which you can use to count how many perish songs you hit on that enemy. After this move upgrades, you'll get a boosted attack with each activation of Perish Song. These two moves receive their upgrades at level 11. This one does not require the same amount of setup to get its maximum effect. You immediately have access to 3 activations. You won't get the boosted attack at first, nor the slow. The damage is nice as well, but since the cooldown is really high, it's not easy to use this move twice against the same opponent, unless they're also playing close-range Pokémons. And you really want to hit all 3 Perish Songs every time, to get that extra damage. In the late game, this move gives a lot of health recovery with the boosted attacks. This healing is the main reward for using this move. Besides that, there's not a lot else to look for here. At level 7, you'll get to choose your next move, which can be either Bubble Beam or Ice Beam. Bubble Beam gives a shield based on your special attack for 4 seconds when activating the move. You'll also shoot a beam with 5 bubbles that will keep floating for some seconds afterwards. Every enemy hit by then will be trapped inside it for 1 second. The bubbles will not deal damage after they start floating away. After this move upgrades, you'll receive a bigger shield on activation. So this move is a much needed tool to stop your enemies from running away from you. It's also great at checking the tall grass or blocking paths for a short time. The shield is amazing as well at keeping you alive, giving you more time to get another boosted basic attack and heal yourself again. But the big thing here is the ability to hold your enemies in place for a while, allowing you to catch up and use your moves one more time. And one thing you need to keep in mind is that enemies can't be trapped in more than 1 bubble per move, even if they walk into another one after they're free. Your other option here is Ice Beam. You'll shoot a beam that freezes the ground, dealing damage over time while decreasing your enemy's movement speed. This effect is increased depending on how long they stand in the frozen area. And if they stand there for 1.5 seconds, they will be frozen for 1 second. You'll also walk faster in that area. After this move upgrade, the freeze duration is increased from 1 second to 1.5 seconds. Both moves upgrades at level 13. So, this move is not that great right now. The damage is really low and the area affected by this move is not that large, making it easier for your opponents to just leave without being frozen. The only 2 things you'll for sure get from this move are some slow for your opponents and an increased movement speed for yourself. At this moment, this move is not that great when compared to Bubble Beam in my opinion. And lastly we have Lapras' amazing Unite move. With 89 seconds of cooldown. This move will make you quickly walk around the map while unstoppable for 15 seconds, your speed will be increased gradually over time and will be reduced if you hit a wall. You can walk through wild Pokémons, dealing damage 1 time. So you can't walk in circles and farm the whole map. If you hit an opponent, you'll immediately stop, dealing damage and throwing that Pokémon into the air for some time. You can also activate this move a second time, to create a huge wave in front of Lapras, sending everyone hit into the air for the same amount of time. The damage dealt will be the same with either the wave or if you crash into someone. Additionally, you can carry a nearby ally on your back with this Unite move. Both you and your teammates can choose who you're going to carry, but once someone hops on Lapras' back, you can't take anyone else for a ride, even if they decided to leave during this move. Only the Pokémon on your back can choose to dismount. The buffs you get from this Unite are a shield equal to 20% of your maximum health on activation and another one twice as big when you create the wave and 30% increased movement speed. This is among the fastest Unite moves to recharge in the game, you can use it almost every minute. You can use this move to run away when you need to, quickly walk around the map to help your teammates, or you can also use this like a small version of Hoopa's Unite move. So you can do something with your team on one side of the map, then quickly carry someone to the other side to score, defend or fight for the objective on the other side of the map. You'll really need to understand what's going on in your match to better use this move while carrying your allies. But using this alone is also really strong, you can start a fight with a huge stun and a massive shield. And the damage you get from the wave is really nice, making it easier to knock out targets with less HP while they're stunned by your Unite move. So, yeah. There's a lot you can do with this move, so try to be smart with how you use it. And remember, you don't even need to hit someone for this move to be good. And one last thing. Don't hit walls. Now that we already know what Lapras can do inside your matches, let's see what you can change outside them in order to adapt this Pokémon to your own playstyle. First, for some battle items options. My recommendations here are either Potion, to get some extra health recovery, and X Speed, for the extra movement speed, both to run away or chase your opponents. Now for the held items. Lapras can benefit from a lot of them. Like the Slick Spoon, for a good amount of extra damage. You just can't go wrong with this one on Pokémons that use their special attack, when you're aiming to deal damage. Focus Band will really help you stay alive, giving you more time to heal yourself. And don't worry, Lapras is so tanky that you'll never go down before getting this item's effect. Special attack specs is really good as well, increasing both the shield from Bubble Beam and your damage output, after some scores, of course. But it's not that hard to stack with Lapras anyway. Since you use your basic attacks a lot, Muscle Band can be really effective here as well. Due to the low cooldown on your Unite move, Buddy Barrier and Energy Amplifier can be used here. The second one can also be used for some extra cooldown, and the Buddy Barrier is triggered on the Unite move's activation, but it's useful for your teammates. And another option for cooldown reduction is Shell Bell. That will sometimes give you some health back after you use a move. If you're looking for cooldown, this is my preferred option between this and Energy Amplifier. If you want to play more like a defender, you can also run Experience Share, so you can funnel experience to your teammates. The downside is that you'll be at a lower level at the end of the game. But you can do well without a really high level on Lapras. Choice Specs is good for some extra damage on your moves. Eos Cookie will increase your health, buffing the healing from your boosted attacks and shields from your Unite. Rapid Fire Scarf helps a little, but it's not the most useful item here. The same goes for Wise Glasses, the benefit you get from it is small when compared to other items. Besides those items, I don't recommend anything else. And lastly, for your emblems, I recommend running white and green emblems, prioritizing the ones that increase your special attack and health. Although they don't help you a lot here in my opinion, you can also run black emblems for some extra cooldown reduction. And that's all you need to know in order to start playing Lapras. In my opinion, this is one of the strongest Pokémons ever released in Pokémon Unite. It has everything: good damage, good defenses, and an amazing Unite move that gives not only, but your team, a lot of mobility. Right now, I really recommend playing Lapras. You can't go wrong with this one. And that's all for this video. If you want to see more guides like this, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate having you around. I hope you enjoyed and found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time.